I am walking proof that you can be someone so desperate, wanting to take your own life, wanting to just end it all, and then come out on the other side and be so free and healthy and know that everything is effing meaningless. And I mean that in the most comforting way possible. What if I told you the key to realizing that nothing truly matters could be the key to your anxiety? Hold on through the next 5 or 6 minutes of this video and you will see anxiety differently. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. In Ecclesiastes, the teacher is basically saying meaningless, meaningless, everything is meaningless. And you can either take this as a somber and depressive stance, or you can look at it from my eyes and the eyes that God wants you to see it, is that truly everything on earth is meaningless, but that is such a good thing. Because we are not going to stay on this earth. We are not going to live on this earth forever. Our souls are going to go somewhere far better, far more beautiful, and that's where the meaning takes place. I was in the military for 4 years, and during the last couple years of my stint, got the worst anxiety of my entire life. I started to get panic attacks. I couldn't function. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I was having my mind take over my body and my soul and my spirit. And I want to come to you today with some vulnerability, because if you're struggling on the other end of the camera with anxiety, I just want you to know, first of all, you're not alone. Second, this is not who you are. You are not your anxiety. You are not your mental health. You are not your depression. Our brains are so complex, and the way that our brains control our body and our minds and our thoughts are so complex that I get it. It's like you feel like you're in a deep, dark hole, and there's no way of anybody pulling you out. There's no way of crawling out of it. I remember sitting on the toilet. I had to go take many, many breaks during my watch shift on the Navy watch floor, because I would break down. I would sit on the toilet crying, hyperventilating, and just wanting it all to end. And there are a few events that led up to that point. I think one of the biggest kickers was that I refused to get the COVID vaccine, and they were ostracizing me. They made me stand outside of the building an hour before it even opened to wait to meet somebody to have them stick something up my nose every single day to get tested. And I was the only person who wore a mask. It was so bad. But I knew in my spirit, because of the illness I was facing and just everything I have walked through, I did not want to get the vaccine. I couldn't do it. Just everything inside me was telling me don't do it. So I didn't. And it caused a lot of problems for me as far as my command and just work life. And it caused a lot of anxiety. And my point to all of this is I am walking proof that you can be someone so desperate, wanting to take your own life, wanting to just end it all, and then come out on the other side and be so free and healthy and know that everything is effing meaningless. And I mean that in the most comforting way possible. If you sit down and you think about, in Ecclesiastes, King Solomon had everything. He had all the riches of the world, all the women, he had all the things, the desires of his heart. And even he's it's all meaningless. Because the one thing that actually means something is having God and having Jesus, and knowing that you're going to see your brothers and sisters again in heaven one day, and we're going to see each other in heaven one day. Save your soul. If you're not a believer, now is your opportunity to just surrender, give up, say, you know what? I'm going to try it, because trying it my way and living with the world has not worked out so far. So you know what? I put my hands up right now. I accept Jesus into my heart, and we're going to see what life is like with Jesus. And if you did, and if you said that, and if you're here and you're sitting with me, congratulations, you just made the best decision of your entire life. If you're already a believer, just know that life is meaningless, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way. So don't take it the wrong way. I'm not saying life is worthless. There is a difference. My therapist has changed my life. If you are dealing with mental health, I highly recommend getting a therapist and seeking out therapy. But basically, I am a huge thinker, and I think that everything has to have meaning. Everything has to be substance. And she looked at me one day and she said, "Have you ever read Ecclesiastes? You realize that King Solomon said that nothing matters in life except maybe good food and your family. And as soon as she said that, my whole perspective on life changed. I realized King Solomon was right. He had the riches of the world. He had everything he could ever desire. And he still sat there and he was like, you know what? This is all meaningless. And for some reason, that brings me great comfort knowing that a man that had everything in the world was still sitting there, maybe feeling a little bit empty, thinking that these things would fill him. When the things that fill us are connection and the Holy Spirit and the beautiful butterfly effect of just being kind to the people around you and loving the people around you. That's what matters. And that's what you should focus on. It says there's a Hebrew word in here called hevel, and it means vapor, mist, a breath on a cold morning. It's not saying that life is worthless. It's saying that it's fleeting, ephemeral, and like it's trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. It's fleeting. And that's a beautiful thing, is because fleeting things, they can leave a lasting impact, but then they also end. So King Solomon looked around and he saw the same things that we see today. People working themselves to death for that promotion that they don't really even care about. People building empires that crumble. People sleeping around because they think it's going to fill a void, but it just leaves them more empty because you are giving pieces of your soul away with every single person that you sleep with. Posting and scrolling and consuming, and this is not the way. And he even says, look, in Ecclesiastes 1:14, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and indeed, all is vanity and grasping for the wind. It's so poetic and beautiful. Grasping for the wind. It means it's here and then it's gone. Nothing is guaranteed. Your anxiety isn't broken. It's actually working really well. It's just working too well. It's seeing everything as a threat. Panic attacks, you'll notice, wherever your triggers are, your body's just trying to take care of yourself. Your body is just trying to protect you from the danger that your mind has created in the illusion of maybe you walk through trauma, maybe you're going through something really hard. For me, I had a lot of trauma, and trauma hides in the body. The Body Keeps Score is a great book to read up on that. The presentation that you're terrified to give, nobody's even like thinking about what you're saying. Like a lot of them are probably making lists through their head, like what they have to do after work. They're not noticing, how scared you are, and they don't care. And any awkward situation you've ever had in your life is just like more of a reason to laugh it off, because nobody remembers. You remember, but nobody really has like capacity to remember every single awkward thing that this person did. After spending chapters showing us how everything is fleeting, the teacher, King Solomon, doesn't sink into despair. Instead, he finds freedom in it. If nothing we're anxious about ultimately matters in the cosmic scheme, then we're free to engage with life differently. Ecclesiastes 2:24, there is nothing better for mortals than to eat and drink and to find enjoyment in their toil. This also, I saw, is from the hand of God. Basically, he's saying nothing matters except good food, good drink, your family pretty much, and the little time we have here on earth. It's just all, you find the secret to the world. You find the secret to living, and it's not saying that you're not ever going to be anxious again or you're not going to have mental health problems again. I had a panic attack. It's been like 6 months. Sometimes it just happens. But if you can just sit there and breathe through it and think, this is meaningless, life gets better. And it's weird, right? It's like saying, why, not putting the pressure on you, and say you have you don't have friends right now and you want to make friends. I truly and I talk about friends a lot on this channel, especially in your 30s. It's so hard to make quality people, because people are just in different seasons of life, and that's okay, because you enjoy the people that are around you currently. You get yourself out there, you go try new things, you just embrace life for what it is and have fun while you're here. That's all I have to say. That's all I mean to say is, if you're struggling and you're battling anxiety, I think someone dropped a comment the other day, and I pray for everyone on my channel. There's better days coming. You just have to have that hope, and you have to know that. And you have to kind of outthink your mind, if that makes sense. Or just not think at all. You just say, mind, this is meaningless. This anxiety that I'm having because of XYZ that might happen and probably 90% won't happen, it's meaningless. Look, I want to give you 3 takeaways because I like to give people sustenance on this channel. So the practical steps to putting this in play. The first thing is called the vapor check. So when anxiety spikes, Pause and ask yourself, is this vapor or substance? Most of our daily stresses are vapor, like fleeting. They're just here and gone. It feels important in the moment, but it's fleeting. This doesn't minimize your feelings, it just puts them in perspective. The second thing is the simple joy practice. So every day I want you to intentionally notice one simple pleasure. Like really enjoy it. Like my pumpkin coffee right now. Even though it's like August, I'm enjoying it because it's the simple joys in life, okay? Those bring us back to reality. Those ground us in earth. And then the third thing is a season mindset. Instead of asking, what's my life's purpose? Ask, what's my purpose this season? Ecclesiastes teaches that everything has its time, and you don't have to carry the weight of your entire future. Just this moment, just this season. Ecclesiastes says there's a time for mourning and a time for laughing. There's a time for dancing and a time for sitting still. I want to close this out by saying the teacher of Ecclesiastes offers us something radical. He offers us permission to stop pretending that our temporary existence needs to carry permanent weight. This doesn't make life meaningless. It just makes it beautiful and precious and temporary. Your anxiety is trying to make permanent sense of temporary things, but what if instead fighting it, you invited it to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and invite it in and say, you know what, I see you. You're here, you're really loud, and you're obnoxious today. Name your anxiety. You have to name it to tame it. Name your anxiety. You know, if you want to name it, let's call mine Pumpkin. Hey Pumpkin, I see you today. You're here, you're rearing your ugly head, but you're not going to take away my joy from today. If any of this resonated with you, I would love to see how you're making friends with your anxiety. Disclaimer as well, always seek mental support if you need therapy. I've been in therapy for probably 3 years now, and it has changed my life. There is a suicide hotline linked below. Please don't ever feel like you are alone. I know these are more vulnerable topics, but just know that like if you're struggling right now, it's a season and you will get through it. Just make sure you support yourself around people, put people around you that love you and care for you. And there are always people, whether it be strangers, the hotline, go find a therapist. There are people who love you and value you to be on earth and exist, and not to mention God. And if you're not a believer, he still loves you. And he's still there, and he's there when you're ready. So that's all I have to say today.